Ezekiel 1:1. This is how it reads. Now it came to pass in the 30th year, in the 4th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captives by the river of Chebar, that the heavens were opened, and I saw visions of God. As I was among the captives by the river of Chebar. I want to title this devotion, Even at Chebar. When you're reading that verse, what we'll have to understand is what Ezekiel is seeing and observing is not supposed to happen in the mind of a Jewish person. They are away from the temple. In fact, the temple has been destroyed, but yet and still, heavens open and he sees visions of God. In their mindset, in their culture, in their world, God dwelled in the temple. And to be away from the temple and still see God was something that was unusual, something that they had not expected. They are now in Babylon by the river Chebar, and Chebar itself means far off. They are far off from Jerusalem, far off from Judah, far off in a place where they have never been. They are exiled. But even in Chebar, heavens opened, and he saw visions of God. He saw God even though he was far off. In my profession, I have to do quite a bit of travel and going in and out of businesses and homes, etc. And I'm often in a place where I can't get Wi-Fi connection. In fact, if I'm in a public place, I'm not supposed to use public Wi-Fi. I have to have my own connection. That's why on my phone, I have a personal hotspot that no matter where I am, I should be able to connect through my personal hotspot. I thought about that as I was reading that verse, and there Ezekiel was in this strange, far-off place where he likely felt that connection should not exist or would not exist, but yet and still, heavens opened, and he saw visions of God. It is good news for the saints of God that no matter where we are, no matter how far off we think we might be, whether we in deep grief, deep sorrow, deep distress, deep depression, no matter where we might be, we are never so far off that we can't connect with our God. There are three things that I want to pull out of this verse real quickly. Even at Chebar, that's what I'm talking about. Even at Chebar, first off, it still came to pass. Because when you read the verse, it starts off saying, now it came to pass. You know, exile wasn't the end of their story. Time had not stopped just because they were in Babylon. And what I'm trying to relate to you all today is that even when you're in Chebar, whatever God needs to do in your life, it can still happen even in Chebar. Ezekiel said it came to pass. Your location does not cancel God's timing. Your situation does not cancel God's timing. Whatever you need God to do, He can still do it even in Chebar. A second thing, even in Chebar, heaven can still open. You know, you can be in the worst financial situation, you can be in the worst emotional situation, you can be in the worst physical situation, but even in Chebar, heaven can still open. The verse says, I was among the captives by the river Chebar, that the heavens were open. Let me tell you, God don't have to just have you in the spotlight to bless you. God don't have to just have you out front to bless you. God can have you in Chebar and still open heaven for you. He can still do it. It doesn't matter. Heavens can open. It matters not where you are. They thought the heavens were closed over them in Babylon. They thought heavens only open in Judah. No, God, God can open heaven wherever you are. You don't have to be in Jerusalem. You don't have to be in the temple. You don't have to be in the ideal place for God to show himself to you. So heavens can still open, even at Chebar. And the last thing, then I'm going to pray. Even at Chebar, you can still see God. Not just can see him, you will see him by faith. Read the verse. Read the verse. As I was among the captives by the river Chebar, that the heavens were open, and I saw visions of God. I saw visions of God, Ezekiel says. In that place of despair, he had an encounter with glory. And that's what we all need to embrace, need to understand, need to walk in. God doesn't just show up. He shows himself. He don't just appear to be there. He shows what he can do. He will allow you to see him in a way that you've never seen him before. This was an unusual encounter for Ezekiel. You know, I found in life that sometimes my darkest seasons give me the clearest vision of God. I wish you'd write that down somewhere in your notes for today. Sometimes your darkest seasons give you the clearest vision of God. God does not hide behind darkness. He shows up in it. He walks through it. He gives an appearance even when things are dark and gloom. So it'll still come to pass. Heaven can still open and you can still see God, even at Chebar. Sometimes you got to even welcome Chebar. Come on, Chebar. This is my time to have things come to pass for me. This is my time to see heaven open. This is my time to see God, even at Chebar.